Alright, so it's been a little over a day, and it's time to have a conversation about that wonderful press conference. Maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't. Apologies, it's really early in the morning. Let's see if this helps. That helps. So let's talk about that press conference. Donnie fucking knocked it out of the goddamn park. The one I'm talking about is his unveiling the USMCA trade deal. And a lot happened. You need to watch it. It's only about 45 minutes long. And really, the press conference about the agreement is only about 30 minutes long. The rest of it was questioning. Everything after the 30-minute mark is just questions and answers, where the press is doing their usual press things, and mostly they don't want to talk about the trade deal. They want to talk about Kavanaugh because the media is, for some reason, stuck in last goddamn week. But yeah, during his presentation, while he is telling us of this great new deal that he's getting ready to send off to Congress to ratify, he's talking about the whole process leading up to it, and he brings a couple of experts that he's had working on this for the last, as it turns out, 14 months. And I don't know if anybody else caught this. I know Thomas Wichter caught this, and if you don't follow him, his YouTube channel is Albert Bologna, B-O-L-O-G-N-A, I think, Bologna. Trump told us what he's doing, and he told us why it's working. He is doing things that other people haven't even thought to try, and he's succeeding. He is the babe, holding his bat, aiming it out left field, calling the goddamn shot, and nailing it. And you know why? Because nobody else has had the balls to do it. Think about one of the anecdotes he was telling during his presentation. He's talking about a phone call he had with President Abe in Japan, and he's airing grievances that the U.S. has with things that Japan has been doing. And he relates that Abe told him over the phone, well, nobody complained, nobody told me about it, we didn't know you guys had a problem with this, you never told us. He's doing things that no previous president has attempted to do. He's swinging for the fences, and he's nailing it every time. He has a guaranteed SCOTUS picker. It's actually his second SCOTUS pick. It's going to be, by the end of this week, we're going to find out that Kavanaugh is in. He's good. He's good. It's going to happen. McConnell has the votes. Cocaine Mitch has the votes, and he's going to hold the vote on the Senate floor this week. This is possibly the October surprise from the president on behalf of the Republicans. This is the thing to energize the Republican voting base. After 3 weeks of delays in what should have been just a routine process, the Democrats have absolutely blown their load. It's so significant for so many reasons. What we're going to see in November, thanks to this huge trade deal announced on October 1st, this huge trade deal is going to energize the Republican voting base, and it might actually energize previous Democrat partisans who were on the fence. It might energize them to flip sides, and I think that's kind of the point. Look at all of these big successful moves that the president is doing. Look at his economy. Economists are kind of spitballing predictions that our economic growth for the third quarter might hit 5%. That's insane. I don't know the last time in history we've had a 5% GDP growth. Actually, no, we had one quarter in 2010, I think, under Barack Obama. One quarter where that actually ended up happening, and it was kind of an economic recovery on the coasts. But the rest of his presidency, Obama's presidency, was really lackluster economically. I mean, he just wallowed in the 1 to 2% range for most of his presidency, and then he complained that nobody else could do better. And then Donnie comes along and knocks it out of the goddamn park. Trudeau got to save face by signing this deal, and this is actually really significant because Trudeau is kind of a laughingstock in his own country. He is a joke of a leader. He has been a joke of a leader. His own constituents call him Turdo. He is such a bleeding feminist vagina of an effigy of a human being. I sincerely think that him trying to play hardball, the reason the USMCA didn't happen earlier is because of Trudeau. And Trump said this. They butted heads, they had a lot of disagreements, but they worked something out. Like adults. That statement right there, that they had disagreements, but they worked it out, that is going to save Trudeau as a president. He's going to be able to go back to his people, his constituents, and say, hey, look, I've turned over a new leaf. I signed this amazing trade deal with the United States. They're not going to be levying huge tariffs against us. They're our biggest trading partner, and we're going to have a chance for unprecedented economic growth. You actually do want to re-elect me because I did this. This happened on my watch. This might be the one thing that saves Trudeau the next time an election comes up with his name on the ballot. This is fucking huge. If you don't understand how huge this is, you need to watch it again until you understand it. And you can disregard most of the questions and answers that happen at the end because that's just the media being the media. I love that right at the conclusion of his statement, he says he'll now take questions from the media that he considers to be part of the Democrats. Like, shots fired. Goddamn right they are effectively Democrats. All of the mainstream media, all the legacy, the CNNs, the MSNBCs, the New York Times, the Washington Post, all of these legacy media giants, these international entities that are recognizable in other countries as household names, they have been cribbing for the Democrats and cribbing for Hillary and cribbing against rule of law. Basically everything they've been doing has been effectively undermining rule of law. You're goddamn right, they're effectively an arm of the Democrat Party. They haven't been the fourth estate since probably 2007. They had a brief flirtation with sanity regarding Edward Snowden, and then they shat the bed with Julian Assange. I don't like Julian Assange, but the man is absolutely being railroaded. He's been in solitary confinement in the Ecuadorian embassy for 5 years. He's absolutely being railroaded. And the media, most of the media has been silent about that. There should be outcry and protesters every day. But there isn't, because most people aren't aware of how significant and persecutorial that treatment is, because the media just won't talk about it. That's the media that we're dealing with. Because Julian dropped information on the Democrats and the media is in the pocket of the Democrats, Julian is persona non grata, despite the wild tossing out of his human rights and human dignity. Yeah. So that conference was really, really significant. And I haven't had a chance to watch the Tennessee conference. I'll watch that probably later tonight. That's all I got for you. Enjoy.